Do you remember the higher power in old school WWF, that storyline? Today, the higher power storyline is essentially really a meme, a box of hilarity and ridicule. Up until a few years ago, and even today for many old-time fans, it's one of the several quote-unquote wasted opportunities. You should probably start with the formation of The Undertaker's Ministry of Darkness, that stable back in late 98 and early 99. Like that stable. Liked it. This heel group started a feud with the Corporation, also a heel group, led by Mr. McMahon. This rivalry led to the famously poor Hell in a Cell match between The Undertaker and the Big Boss Man at WrestleMania 15. Now, it was during the build to this match that we, the wrestling fans, started to learn a little bit more about The Undertaker's motives. Namely, he wanted to take over the World Wrestling Federation, if you remember. As things often do in wrestling, they got personal. On the February 22nd edition of Raw, Paul Bearer delivered a parcel to McMahon during an Inferno match between The Undertaker and Kane, who was a member of the Corporation at that point. The previously smug Mr. McMahon was left dumbfounded and stumbling around the ring holding the teddy bear which was inside the parcel. Taker then grabbed the teddy bear and set fire to it while McMahon cried his eyes out. Michael Cole then gave us some insight lines like, "What does this all mean? And is this symbolic?" while completely ignoring the fact that Kane, an actual person, not a cuddly toy, just had his foot set on fire. You fast forward to the end of April and the Backlash pay-per-view. The Undertaker proved successful in his latest attempt to kidnap Stephanie McMahon, who had recently debuted on TV. Taker attempted to borrow Daddy's little girl a few weeks earlier, but Ken Shamrock retrieved her after making Christian spill the beans on her whereabouts. It was from this point that Mr. McMahon became a full-fledged babyface as a direct result of Vince's distractions and switching of priorities. Shane McMahon had seized control of the Corporation and merged it with The Undertaker's Ministry on the pilot episode of SmackDown. Remember that, April 29th, to form the extremely imaginatively titled Corporate Ministry. How original was that? Shane would then claim responsibility for masterminding his sister's kidnapping and other activities. The sentimental teddy that Taker burned started to make sense, being that Shane would have easy access to such things. You should now start to factor in Stone Cold Steve Austin to the equation, because he was the WWF champion at that time, and having formed an alliance to take power in the company, the only thing left, for The Undertaker to do was to win the heavyweight title. Also, Austin, apparently the only decent human being in the promotion, halted the dark wedding between The Undertaker and a terrified Stephanie McMahon. Now being referred to as Vince, along with Pat Patterson and Gerald Briscoe, they would side with Austin against Taker and Shane. Imagine that. While this was all happening for quite some time, The Undertaker had been alluding to a higher power, or sometimes greater power, that he answers to. Essentially, Taker was Darth Vader, but there was an emperor somewhere. As you get into May, it became apparent that the higher power was not a figure of speech, more a literal figure that you would soon meet. So, the Raw from June 7th was to set up the bigger reveal. Rumors at the time suggested the higher power could be Ted DiBiase or Jake Roberts, which both make sense in terms of Austin history. If nothing else, maybe even Shawn Michaels shooing for that spot. Don the Jackal Cyrus Callis was also muted for the spot. In fact, the original plan was the fallen angel, Christopher Daniels, to be revealed as the higher power. However, Vince McMahon personally nixed the idea because he thought Daniels was too short. So, in true "if a job's worth doing, then do it yourself" fashion, it was revealed that Mr. McMahon was the higher problem. The higher power, which was the problem. "It's me, Austin. It was me all along," is the iconic quote from the storyline, as he pulled his cloth to reveal himself, his face. Even his family bought it. Apparently, McMahon wanted revenge on Austin for winning the title at WrestleMania 15 and getting one up on him and the corporation. Wow, boo-hoo. As we all know, the best way to get revenge on your nemesis is to have your daughter stalked and abducted while a group of large men burn crosses in your front garden. It doesn't make sense. Does it? A wasted opportunity. I hope all is well, and I look forward to speaking to you guys very, very soon.